Imagine a world where millions marched into battle believing they would be home by Christmas. Instead, they walked into 4 years of unimaginable horror trenches, filled with mud, gas clouds choking entire armies, and a death toll so massive it reshaped the entire planet. This was not just a war. This was the Great War, a conflict that shattered empires, changed borders, and planted the seeds for an even deadlier war. But how did the world fall into this catastrophe? And why did it change history forever? At the dawn of the 20th century, Europe was powerful, wealthy, and confident. Empires ruled the globe: Britain, France, Germany, Russia, and the Ottoman Empire controlled vast territories and millions of people. But beneath the surface, tensions were boiling. Nationalism was rising. People wanted independence and power. Militarism fueled massive armies and arms races. Imperialism drove nations to compete for colonies and influence. And alliances meant that if one country went to war, many others would follow. Europe was like a powder keg. All it needed was a spark. On June 28, 1914, in the city of Sarajevo, a young Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary. It was just 2 gunshots, but those shots echoed across the world. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia and declared war. Russia rushed to defend Serbia. Germany backed Austria-Hungary. France and Britain joined Russia. The Ottoman Empire entered on Germany's side. Within weeks, the world was at war. Millions of men marched off, cheered by crowds and patriotic songs. No one imagined what was coming. By late 1914, the war had turned into a stalemate. Armies dug thousands of miles of trenches across Europe. Life in the trenches was brutal. Soldiers lived in mud. Rats crawled over them at night. Diseases spread, and artillery shells exploded constantly. New weapons made the war terrifyingly modern. Machine guns that mowed down entire charges, poison gas that burned lungs and blinded eyes, tanks that crushed everything in their path, submarines that hunted ships beneath the seas, airplanes used for reconnaissance and dogfights. War was no longer heroic, it was industrialized slaughter. Although most fighting happened in Europe, the Great War was truly global. Battles raged in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. Colonies sent millions of soldiers to fight for empires they barely understood. In the Middle East, the Ottoman Empire fought Britain and its allies, while Arab revolts reshaped the region. In Africa, colonial powers fought over territories they barely controlled. And across the Atlantic, the United States watched, waiting. At first, the United States stayed neutral, but German submarine attacks on civilian ships and the infamous Cimarron telegram offering Mexico U.S. territory in exchange for alliance changed everything. In 1917, America joined the war. Fresh American troops, supplies, and morale shifted the balance. Germany, exhausted and starving, began to collapse. By 1918, the world was exhausted. The Russian Empire collapsed in revolution, giving rise to the Soviet Union. The Ottoman Empire crumbled. Austria-Hungary dissolved into new nations. Germany surrendered, and the Kaiser fled. On November 11, 1918, the guns fell silent. The Great War was over, but peace would not be simple. The Treaty of Versailles punished Germany harshly. It lost territory, its military was restricted, and it was forced to accept blame and massive reparations. Many believed the treaty was too harsh and too humiliating. It created resentment, anger, and economic chaos. In Eastern Europe and the Middle East, new borders were drawn with little understanding of ethnic and religious divisions. The world was unstable, and the seeds of another war were planted. The Great War killed over 16 million people and wounded millions more. Entire generations were lost. Cities were destroyed. Families were shattered. For the first time, war was captured on film and in photographs, revealing its horror to the public. Poets and writers spoke of the trauma, calling it a war to end all wars. But history would prove that hope tragically wrong. World War I reshaped the modern world. It led to the rise of new nations, the decline of old empires, and the birth of new political ideologies like communism and fascism. It changed warfare forever, introducing modern military technology, and it directly led to World War II, the Cold War, and the global power struggles we still see today. The Great War was not just a conflict, it was the turning point of modern history. The Great War began with pride and ended with sorrow. Millions marched off believing they were fighting for glory, but returned to a world forever changed. Empires fell, borders shifted, history turned, and the echoes of those gunshots in Sarajevo still shape the world we live in today. Because sometimes a single moment can change the destiny of humanity forever.